Sa panahon ng mabilis na impormasyon at kaliwat ka ng balita, kailangan mo ng isang channel na mapagkakatiwalaan, diretso at para sa bayan. Ito ang Balitang Pambansa, ang iyong bagong tahanan ng mainit na issue, tunay na impormasyon at mga balitang hindi mo dapat palampasin. Mula sa mga trending na kaganapan sa social media hanggang sa mga seryosong isyong pambansa, bantay kami sa bawat sulok ng bansa para sa iyo. Hindi lang basta chismis, kundi validated news, mga impormasyon na may batayan at mga kwento ng tunay na buhay Pilipino. At kung gusto mong laging nauuna sa kaalaman, huwag kalimutang mag-like, mag-share at higit sa lahat, mag-subscribe. Dahil sa Balitang Pambansa, balita mo, boses mo, bayan natin ito.
Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Welcome to the witnessing of another referral by the ICI to the Office of the Ombudsman. We are joined here by the Ombudsman, Jesus Crispin Remulla, from the ICI, Justice Andy Reyes and former Secretary Rogelio Singson, and from the DOJ, Undersecretary Jesse Andres. And so today, as they receive the papers from the Office of the Ombudsman, we would like to hear a few words to describe the referral that was given today by Justice Andy Reyes, to be followed by some words by our Ombudsman, Jesus Crispin Remulla.
Good morning to all of you, and good afternoon to all of you. Today, we'll be submitting our interim report and recommendation to the Office of the Ombudsman on the alleged involvement of several DPWH officials and employees in obtaining bribes of unwarranted monetary benefits from flood control projects. We recommend the filing of criminal and administrative charges against the following: former Secretary Manuel Bonoan of the DPWH, former USEC Ms. Maria Catalina Cabral, USEC for Planning and Public-Private Partnership, and former DPWH Secretary Mr. Roberto Bernardo, Undersecretary, as well as Mr. Henry C. Alcantara, District Engineer, Mr. Bryce Erickson D. Hernandez, Assistant District Engineer, Mr. Ernesto C. Galang, Chief Planning and Design, DPWH Bulacan 1st District. Number 4, JPD Mendoza, Position Chief Construction Section. Number 5, John Michael E. Ramos, Position Project Engineer. Number 6, Ms. Irene D.C. Ontinco, Position Engineer 1. Mr. Joshua Blitz S. Rojas, Position Engineer 1. Mr. Bernardo P. Villaferte, Position Engineer 1. And Mr. Ermir S. Villanueva, the owner of Top Notch Construction. I'd like to introduce to you our two detailed lawyers from the OSG, Attorney Richard Garbel Filasol and Attorney Ryan Patrick Tumagos. They are our new volunteers and detailed from the OSG. At this point, may I just say that our budget process is going on smoothly and it should be approved in the regular course of government business. We look forward to hiring more lawyers and more investigators. We expect a tremendous increase in our work efficiency and output. We feel aggrieved in what has been committed against the monies of the Filipino people. We condemn the white-collar criminality. We condemn the ninja style of manipulating the budget so as to please a few greedy few. We thank you for your message of support. We thank you for your patience. We will relentlessly continue the battle against corruption. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat.
Ang involved dito ng mga law, Section 3, Republic Act 3019 or Anti-Graphic Corrupt Practices Act, Article 217 of the Revised Penal Code, malversation of public funds or property, Article 171 and 172 of the Revised Penal Code, falsification of documents, whether by public officials or private individuals. Presidential Decree 1759 penalizes contractors who violate any material provisions of contracts involving public works. projects of the government and public officials who allow such violations. Republic Act 9184, Government Procurement Reform Act, and Republic Act 6713, or Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. So yun po yung mga crimes involved in these cases that were, these referrals that were given to us today. So, okay?
Question?
Yes.
Sir, ano na po yung magiging proseso po nito? Kasi I understand, Justice, sinabi niyo po kanina na this will be for evaluation. You're just recommending this to the Ombudsman. Ano po, sir, yung magiging action po ng Ombudsman?
We will go into fact-finding immediately because these are referrals and they may need more documents to be able for us to be able to file cases for preliminary investigation, because you have to inform the accused of their rights and you have to have the proper allegations drawn in to the mix. So it will undergo PI later on, but we will have fact-finding first to be able to complete whatever may be needed to make sure that we have the cases worth filing in court.
Justice, okay lang po ba, sir? Bakit po tayo, sir, nag-recommend ngayon for evaluation and investigation? Unlike po yung nauna po na diretso na po tayo sa PI sana.
No, most of our language is the same for further fact finding or for further evaluation. It's just a matter of semantics, I think. Yeah. That's all.
Justice, pang ilan na po ito na pinahid po ng ICI dito sa Office of the Ombudsman simula po nung pag-usa po yung trabaho po ng ICI?
I think we have 3 referrals. Yes. Three occasions of referrals. Yes. But we'll be filing more and more in the next weeks and next month. We'll be filing more of these. Yes.
If you notice, the ICI is here, but the head of the task force of the DOJ, Yusek Andres, is also present because there's a parallel investigation going on with the task force that we created before in the DOJ, which he heads, which Yusek Andres heads, which includes the NBI within their team to conduct fact-finding also and for filing for PI also if the people involved are of salaries grade below 27. But just the same, in their study, the studies being conducted by the DOJ, it appears that there are more people involved higher up the food chain. We need to say, cognizable probably by the Sandigan Bayan also. Yun ang mga nangyayari ngayon dito. And of course, you know that former Secretary Babe Singson came from the DPWH and he understands the language perfectly. That's why he was drawn into the picture of the ICI so that the technical knowledge will not be behind. There will be no more learning curve when it comes to the technical knowledge for public works projects. Jenna.
Sir, for uniformity lang po and easier language, the recommendations and referrals can be referred to them as complaints with the Ombudsman.
Yes, complaints. And so we just have to evaluate it, the documents, we have to evaluate them to see if there are lacking materials so that if we do preliminary investigation, the information that we pass on to the accused will be complete. It's hard to be building up a case where you're conducting an investigation.
To make the record straight, we cannot make any complaint. We cannot file a complaint under our mandate. We can only refer. So the complaint, the referrals, later on will be sworn to and subscribed to by DPWH Secretary Bitch Dison, who will make it a complaint. Thank you.
Ombudsman, doon po sa unang naging dalawa na referral po ng ICI, ano na po yung status po ng unang dalawa na na-file?
Undergoing PI, no? Undergoing PI. Natanggap na ba yung mga summons natin, mga sampina? Natanggap na? Not all. Pero marami na tayong, may mga nagpa-file na ng counter affidavits. Yeah, so yun lang, bubuin lang natin yon make sure that the rights are always respected. Yun naman, due process lagi ang ating sinusundan dito. We cannot rush to judgment. Kailangan due process muna.
Sir, kasi yung recent cases lang, recent precedent lang po may PIDAF cases. Tapos yung PIDAF kasi sir, di ba, talagang ang accountable officer sa fund, yung congressman or senator. Kasi allocation mo yun in your position as a member of the Senate and a member of the House of Representatives. Kaso lang, by experience din sir, covering the Sandigan Bayan also alongside the Ombudsman, lagi nang nagiging rulings, hindi nakakasuhan or naa-acquit yung member of the House and member of the Senate dun sa PIDAF cases kasi yung actions daw nila recommendatory lang, usually gano'n, recommendatory lang, walang direct link. Even though yung fund na yun ay allocation yun for their office. This, sa flood control kasi sir, wala na yung ganong wala na yung ganong premise eh. Hindi na talaga yung fund naka-allocate sa DPWH, hindi sa mga members of legislature. Parang, do you think mas mahirap i-prove yung liability nitong mga members of Congress, yung mga politiko sa flood control as compared dun sa PIDAF na talagang office, allocation yun ng office mo or not necessarily. Kasi itong fund nito, I understand, sa DPWH mo ito nakalagakan. Hindi dun sa office ng mga members of
Well, yung PIDAF kasi, allocated yan to each congressman as a fund that they can use to fund different pet projects, supposedly. I remember, I was a congressman before. Ang concentration namin sa district ko was scholarships and medical assistance. No NGOs. Nothing like that. Lahat, scholarship, diretso sa PUP or Cavite State University at that time, or diretso sa medical assistance sa mga ospital. Ang nangyari kasi dyan sa PIDAF cases, they brought it to the different NGOs which supposedly implemented the projects. How the Sandigan Bayan was able to appreciate the facts is beyond me, because I was not part of the trials. I haven't read the decisions except for one or two decisions. And we're going to, this is why we're calling the attention of, we called the attention already of Senior Associate Justice Leonen, so that we can have a dialogue to make sure that everybody is on the same page when it comes to treating cases. Di ba? Kasi nga, ang kalahati ng judicial system, sa kanila eh. Di ba? Justice system natin. Hindi naman kami lang eh. Kasama ang korte. Kaya dapat, on the same page kami, kung saan may nagagaling. Yun naman, I will not cast judgment on anybody. Sa akin lang, we just have to belong to the same page. We have to be on the same page when we start trying these cases. Di ba? Kasi ano yan eh. Well, the evidence that we present here will be the same evidence they will appreciate. And the witnesses we will present in court will be the same witnesses that will be part of the decision. So, the dialogue just has to happen so that we're on the same page. I think that medyo klaro na yun, di ba?
Sir, mas mahirap ba i-prosecute now? Given na yung fund ay nasa DPWH?
Actually, may madaling i-prosecute dito, but actually, hindi mahirap po. Para pareho lang eh, kasi yung PIDAF cases are ghost projects din yan eh. They went to NGOs, supposedly with beneficiaries who were fake beneficiaries. Di ba? So nawala yung pera, where it went, it was never explained. Pwede mo mawala ang pera ng ganun-ganun lang kung walang kukuha. Yun lang naman ang tanong dito, di ba? And I think the narrations of the DPWH people, Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, are more or less complete and very vivid. We saw the pictures on the table, the money on the table. I think 300 billion yung nasa picture na yun, eh, no? Yung ba, nawawala na lang ng parang bula yun para walang managot. Yun lang naman yun, eh. I think that we just need a dialogue with them. So, I think that on Thursday, Senior Associate Justice Leonen will be with the Sandigan Bayan, and we will be talking to them also. Both, maybe separately, Saj Leonen and the Sandigan Bayan Justices. Kakausapin din namin.
Sir, follow up lang po dun. Sir, gaano katibay
Alam nyo, AMLA is not always, will not always tell you the story. Kasi we're a cash economy. Di ba? So, we will have to follow a cash trail somehow. And we intend to pursue that.
Ombudsman, considering po yung mga evidences, kailan may timeline po kayo kung kailan talaga makakasuhan ng Ombudsman itong mga samot dito sa mga flood control projects sa Iloilo?
Anong stage tayo ng PI sa counter affidavit? We're already receiving the counter affidavits. So, let's say we receive the counter affidavits within this week. Next week, we can already have a resolution. The teams, the panels in the PI can already have a resolution. And once the resolution is approved by the panel, it will go to my office, and then instruction for filing already. So, hopefully, kung ngayon ay November 4, by November 11, baka meron na kami na file sa korte. Hopefully, pag nakapasok na yung mga counter affidavits and submitted for resolution. That's Jesse.
On the part of the Department of Justice and NBI Investigation Task Force, we have already filed 5 cases for preliminary investigation. And the first hearing date is on November 10. So we expect the counter affidavits to be submitted on that day, and most of them have been served already. So in addition, the approach we're taking is not only with respect to the DPWH officials involved in the misuse of funds. The additional investigation we're doing, together with the help of many whistleblowers, named and unnamed, are the proponents and how they actually receive kickbacks. So this is how different this is from the PDAF, because we're not limiting our investigation to the misuse of funds, but those who benefited from this illegal use of funds. So the kickbacks aspect would point to proponents that could possibly be lawmakers, senators, and congressmen.
I think I had a discussion earlier with former Secretary Singson and Justice Reyes, and it's some of it can be attributed to gross inexcusable negligence, if I'm not mistaken. Being the Secretary of Public Works, it was his job to make sure that things happen properly. I think that's one of the recommendations, is really to charge them with gross inexcusable negligence. The same case that will be filing against, probably under study now, the Speaker of the House, former Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez.
Sir, can you elaborate yung kay Speaker Martin Romualdez? Ano na po yung proseso natin? Ano na po yung hawak natin kung meron man na evidence?
Hindi kasi when we look at the Saldico cases, and the whole pattern that happened, it was really Saldico working with some senators that came up with a final version of the budget. And the plan was laid out there. If fingers do not point to the Speaker, former Speaker, as the leader of the House, he was responsible for the appointment of Saldico. Although Saldico was elected on the floor, everybody knows that it was the Speaker's choice. That's why we have to hold him accountable for that. It's a novel theory. I know we're crossing the boundary of normal legal theory, but we have to stretch it a bit. Kasi nga, the whole government machinery